The Great Glen of Scotland. We find a perfectly straight canyon cutting right across Scotland. Now, there's a few theories of origin. The main one being that this is the Great Glen Fault. Now, there is some seismic activity in this area, right? I mean, there's seismic activity everywhere, but there isn't a speed of movement that can be tracked between these two fault lines, or at least not that I've found in my research. So I don't think that this is actually a fault line. Now, the other theory of origin is that this is a glacier carved feature. Okay, glaciers, first of all, they can't make a rut that narrow. And second of all, they're not going to make a rut that straight when they move as an entire ice sheet, which has massive surface area, right? It's like a snowshoe, right? A snowshoe isn't going to create a rut like this. But water, which is a solid and a heavy, coalescing, and very fast moving force, that is something that creates a rut. And these are locks, right? So the Loch Ness might be in one of these guys, but we don't know about that. Now check this out. You can kind of see where this this water path emerges from, because it's almost like a cirque formation here. Okay, and that's kind of showing offshore. It's almost like a double cataract formation. And then when we look here, we see that this is an expansion bar. And this kind of has an expansion bar. And then we also see this kind of looks like a mini Monterey Bay, right? It's got the exact same shape. That's because it's a feature called the scarp edge. Okay. You see, now all these other ruts here, they're not correlated with fault lines. So how did all these other big ruts that look, exactly the same, if these aren't fault lines, how did these form? Well, we notice how squiggly they are, and that's a scientific word for describing rivers. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what they do. They turn. That's what rivers like to make tight turns and dig narrow ruts. And that's exactly what we see in this landscape. And we can zoom in onto this rock and think about if this was carved by a glacier.